Hey everybody, I'm back. This is episode 14 of the Clean Hamster podcast. And I'm stoked. This is going to be fun. I'm sitting on my couch. I'm chilling. Everything's going to be great. That was my water bottle. If you give a fuck. I got some fun stuff to talk about. Things have been going great still. I still want to thank all of you for your support. I want to thank all of you for responding to the things I do in such a positive way, for telling me that I'm funny, for telling me that I'm entertaining, because that's all I want to be. All I want to be is just just entertaining to people every day. I love making people laugh. I love making people smile. I like making people like free from stress for whatever moment they have. It's just, that's the best feeling. Even if it's for a minute, you know what I mean? If I can make someone smile or laugh, that's what's up. That's the best feeling in the world to me. So thank you to everyone who's been DMing me, who's been messaging me, who's been, going out of their way to post stuff involved with me. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Thank you to everybody. I'm not going to read all the DMs I've gotten, because some are a bit fucking insane, but they're fun. They're nice. I have received many well wishes, so thank you. Let's begin the podcast now. Let's get to these stories. I've been having a lot of conversations lately about some really funny stuff, and I've been tripped up and reminded about funny things that have happened to me that I forgot about. And oh fuck, man, I can't wait to share them with you guys. So so put your seatbelts on, strap in, and fucking get ready for a wild ride. I'm a fucking idiot. All right, so I was thinking about the hardest I've ever laughed before, okay? And the hardest I have ever laughed, 100%, ever, was I was with Jacob Sharp, my best friend, right? You guys know him. And I was with my ex-girlfriend. The three of us went grocery shopping because she told us to. And we went to the Loblaws or the Freshco or whatever the fuck we have up here in stupid Canada, to just really get some groceries for our house, because we never did. We always ate out. We always ate out vaginas. Just kidding. We always went to fucking get shit from whatever. It doesn't matter. Anyway, we were in an aisle with a bunch of breakfast foods in it, and my girlfriend at the time said, "Jacob, what's a good alternative breakfast?" And I audibly went, "Ugh," and then walked the other way, like a few things down. And Jacob obviously didn't have the same reaction as me, because he's a good person. So he was like, "Oh, you could make like, you could get oatmeal, you could make like a smoothie bowl, you could get like granola," you know what I mean? He was just completely entertaining the idea and being a nice guy and having patience, because I couldn't. And then he said, here we go, man. And then he said, "Oh, you could make frittatas." And then in like a weird, awkward moment of like word association, about 10 feet down the aisle, I out loud said, "Horchatas." and I know it's not that funny, but I thought that was the funniest thing that has ever come out of my mouth, because Jacob was being such a good guy, helping her out with her dumb question, and then he like looked down and he went, "What?" And I was like, "Horchatas." and then he went completely red and started laughing so hard, and he was like, "Why did you say that?" In like the middle of just crying laughing, and I was like, "I don't know, I'm so fucking useless." And just like, we both cried laughing. I couldn't stand anymore. My knees stopped working, and my girlfriend at the time, nothing, didn't budge, didn't get it, was just like, "What are you guys, I'm gonna go look for other things," and just left us. We were it looked like we had smoked a bong, and then we just couldn't be around people. Like, we were fucked. And he just kept being like, "Why did you say horchatas?" And I was like, "I don't even know what horchatas are." And he was like, "It's like not even a breakfast thing." And I was like, "Oh wow." And then we just continued to die laughing so hard, because he went, "You could make frittatas," and then I went, "Horchatas." Fuck. Horchatas. Like, I don't even know what that is. And I'm such a useless idiot during this grocery shopping excursion. I just said a word I've heard before maybe once, and we freaked out. Like, I wanted to find, like, the security camera footage from this store of just, like, Jacob and I on the floor. It was wintertime. We were in, like, our coats. We were sweating. We were laughing so fucking hard. We were being such morons. Horchatas. Yeah, but horchatas, you know? You can make frittatas. Horchatas. I'm such a useless idiot. It was great. Oh man, that makes me laugh. I love that shit. Yeah, I wanted to share that story with you guys because it's ridiculous. So, horchatas. Fucking, you know, I don't even know that. I purposely will never look up what horchatas are because I don't want to know. I don't care. I love that word. I love that as soon as I heard the word frittatas, I was like, horchatas. And I hope you guys are also laughing, but I definitely understand it if you're not. Do you know what I mean? If you're like, can you get to the next fucking story? I don't get why that's funny. I get that, okay? I understand. Anyway, so recently it was opening day for the Toronto Blue Jays, which is our hometown baseball team, and they were good only 2 years ago, and now they're not good anymore. And so I work at that restaurant, right, that I love working at, and it was a very busy day there because of the opening day for the Blue Jays. And my dad messaged me and he goes, "Hey, Diener, I might come by where you work after the game for some beers and, you know, maybe some dinner with my buddy." And I was like, "Yeah, no problem, whatever." And like, I didn't tell anyone my dad was coming. I just didn't have time, right? Like, I wasn't gonna be like, "Guys, my dad's coming. I can't wait for you to meet my father." Wow, so disrespectful. So anyway, my dad showed up with his buddy, and there wasn't a lot of places to sit, so he sat at the bar, right? And you could tell he was kind of lit up. You know, he had some beers at the game, rightfully so. It's a baseball game, and what else are you going to do besides drink? Because baseball's boring as shit. It takes 9 hours for anything to happen. Anywho, so I'm running food that day at work, and I'm hanging out, and I'm doing my thing, and I walk by him a couple times and be like, "Hey, what's up? Welcome," you know what I mean? And then I'm in the back, and I'm like cleaning stuff, and I'm helping out, and I hear a couple managers being like, "This fucking guy at the bar won't shut up about changing the fucking TVs. He keeps wanting to watch tennis. He's fucking annoying. He keeps slapping on the bar and bothering Laura," this girl who was bartending. And then I was like, gosh, I hope that's not my dad. Guess what, people? It was my dad. They were talking about my dad. So I kept it together. Like, I obviously wasn't going to be like, "Hey, that's my dad." I was like, I bet they're talking about my dad. So I, like, low-key was like, "Wait, who are you guys talking about? I want to go see." And they're like, "This fucking guy sitting at the corner of the bar with his friends. He's wearing a baseball cap." And I was like, "That's my fucking dad." But I didn't say that. I kept it in my head. And they just kept talking shit about him, about how annoying he was. And, like, I know my dad, right? He's probably kind of lit up off some beers. He's literally me, but 64. He's loud and probably doesn't have the best, you know, restaurant manners, to be honest. He doesn't care anymore. He's old. He's not like he's trying to make new friends. He doesn't give a shit, right? He's an old guy. He doesn't care. Knowing him, he was probably being pretty annoying. And he owns it. I love him. But like, and then my manager comes back one more time just to talk a little more shit. Because by the way, that's all restaurant managers do. By the way, that's all they do. They're on their phone mostly, and then they go, "Ugh, fuck that patron," and then they get a salary for some reason. But my manager literally came back and said, "I'm gonna clock that guy in the fucking jaw if he says one more thing to me." And I was like, "Oh, first of all, no, you won't. But second of all, if you punch my dad, then I get to be like, 'What'd you do to my dad?'" Like, you know what I mean? But then eventually he got the point that he was being kind of, you know, and then like he wasn't really getting the service he wanted, and like he had a good time no matter what. He didn't care, like I said. And then he left after a while. He left, and shit fizzled away. Like it's not like it was completely bothering my managers the whole day. It was just like for like 10 minutes, right? But I heard them talk bare shit about my dad in front of me without knowing it was my dad, because I didn't out myself. I actually did kind of go out of my way to make sure no one knew who my dad was that day, because I knew he was kind of lit up, and like I did tell him that, so he knows. But anyway, then later that night, I'm walking by like the bar that he was sitting at, and I was talking to my manager, and I was like, "Oh, did you guys know my dad was here?" And they're like, no way, where was he sitting? How come you didn't introduce us? And I was like, oh, he was sitting right here. And I pointed to the chair that the guy was sitting at. And they were like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, he was sitting right here. He wanted to watch some tennis. And then both my managers went, oh my God, we're so sorry. And I was like, yeah, it's done. I don't care. And they're like, why didn't you tell us? And I was like, because I'm not an idiot. I let you guys do your thing, and I'm not going to just out myself and be like, that's my father you're talking about? Like, that would have made me seem like such a bitch. So I just let them talk their shit, and then later I made them feel a little bad and guilty, and it's fine. And then I got some free dinner out of it. And that's how you do it, kids. That's how you fucking do it, huh? That's how you fucking go for it, huh? You gotta make people feel bad, you know? Because you never know who's around. Anyway. What's up with you guys? No one's here. What's up with you guys? Talk to me. What's up with you guys? And then as you're listening to this, be like, well, I did this today. I walked my dog. I did my laundry. I have class later. I have work later. Such a chill day. I gotta go to work at fucking 5:30. God, that sucks. Oh, I burped again. Mamma mia. Mamma mia. Mamma mia, pizzeria. Anyway. So, you guys know my parents are divorced, right? No shit. And my mom remarried and she's happy. And my dad remarried and he wasn't. And then he divorced that woman. And now he's single again. He's cool, right? You guys know that. You guys know this. And yeah, so I wanted to tell you guys a story about my stepmom, my former stepmom. She literally could find this podcast if she really searched for it, but I don't think she's typing my name into anything and never will because I think she wanted me to die. Anyway, she used to do a lot of crazy stuff. She had tons of mental illness before mental illness was popular, for lack of a better term, before it was monetized. But like no one knew, you know what I mean? Like we didn't know. So, and also in her defense, she had to live with me from ages 12 to 18. Fuck that. She had to help kind of raise me, but she didn't do a good job because she was impatient and treated me like I was, she treated me like I was a 25-year-old guy who moved back in with his parents after failing many, many jobs. That's how she spoke to me. She was very bad. She partially ruined my adolescence. Anyway, but she did ridiculous things that became normal to me. The way she would speak to me, she would write hurtful notes to me. She fucking just had no patience for me. She wasn't my real mom. The way she would speak, she made me grow up fucking fast. You know what I mean? Like she ruined a lot. She fucked with me big time. And my dad and her used to like get super hot. They used to smoke so much weed. And then when I was like 15, they'd be like, hey, Dean, can you go take the car and take the back roads and get us snacks? And obviously I'd be like, hell yeah. But that's like so irresponsible. But like, whatever. What are you going to do? But like, I was down. You know what I mean? I got to drive the car. I got to like listen to my own music. And I would make the car rides a little longer on purpose just so I could have a little more freedom from them. Anywho, that's kind of sad. But this is still a comedy podcast. And no matter what, I'm not going to get like too emotional, but here's what the fuck's up. This woman was off her rocker. But like I said, she would do so many ridiculous, crazy things, and I didn't know why, and I would think it was my fault, right? But I never really understood what was going on in her brain. I actually thought I was a bad kid. I thought I was fucked up. I wasn't. I was a very normal teenager. Granted, I was also on so much Adderall and Vyvanse and Concert at the time because I was prescribed by my doctor because I had impatient parents. Anyway, I'll go down that road another time. But there was one time where I came back from school to live with them in between first year and second year of college, and we had a little birthday party for my brother, and we had a lot of company coming over that day, and it was my stepmom's idea, and I don't know why it was her idea because she hated my entire extended family. Anyway, she was stressed out all morning, probably smoked like 9 spliffs, nothing did anything, and what happened was the family gathering became too much for her that she left. Like, that's what she would do. She would leave. She would just be like, I'm going to stay with my mother. And then we wouldn't see her for a week. Literally, like, that's what would happen. And we'd be like, is she dead? Is she coming back? That was a real thing that, like, me and my dad would worry about. And she would always come back and act like nothing happened, which is the most psycho thing ever. But we didn't know what was going on in her brain at the time, so you know what I'm saying, right? I actually wouldn't be surprised if she's killed a kid before. Anyway, so after a while, this party's going on. It's my brother's birthday. I'm saying what's up to family. I'm hanging out. We're chopping it up. And all of a sudden, like, I just don't know where she is. I don't know where she is. And it's been like 2 hours. And I go up to my brother and I'm like, have you seen... I'm not going to say her name. Some of you fucking know her name. But I'm not going to say her name. But I was like, have you seen Jeff? Have you seen Jeff? And he goes, no. And I was like, weird. And I was like, she probably couldn't handle it, left. And I was like, yeah, like I said, it was a normal occurrence. So we were like, shrugged it off, kept hanging out. And then I went in the backyard to get some air and like hang out with my cat, who I haven't seen in a while. And I was like hanging out with my cat for a little bit. And out of the corner of my eye, I see my stepmom's like hands kind of like from inside the shed. I see her hands kind of like pull the door shut. She's in the shed full of lawn tool, like a lawnmower, a weed whacker, like old rusty golf clubs. Like, she's in the shed, and I see her little fingers around the inside of the door shutting it, and I could see her fucking pink nail polish. And not only am I beside myself because she's in the shed hiding from the family, this was a new low or a new high. I don't know. But usually she would take the car, go for a drive, have a little rage drive. I imagine her, every time she would leave in the car, I would literally imagine her on the highway just going, "Ah!" Or she would go upstairs and have a nap, but just be awake the whole time sobbing. But this time she was in the shed. Okay, guys? I saw her. And there's little cracks in like the door, in the shed door. So I know she saw me see her. And that made my heart drop. Because she didn't say anything. I saw her little fingers shut the shed door. And by the way, it's been 2 hours since anyone has seen her at this party. She's been in the shed for 2 hours. And then I pretended to like not see her, and then I walked back inside. My heart was going like I was fucking. First thing that came to my mind, I was like, is she gonna kill herself in that shed? Is someone gonna find her body later in that shed? I was freaking out. That was a for real thing. Like, that could have happened. This woman was on fucking suicide watch. I'm not even kidding. So this is getting serious too. So I went inside and I told my brother. I went up to him. I was like, hey Jake, I found her. And then he was like, what? And I was like, she's in the shed. And obviously my brother said, what do you mean she's in the shed? And I was like, oh, I'm not messing with you. Nor am I confused. Nor am I confusing the shed with anything else. She's in the shed, bottom line. And then he was like, oh, okay. And then walked away from me and went and got a plate of food. Because that's just the way it fucking was back in the day with her behavior. But I knew that this was something new. I was like, holy shit, man. This is not cool. So I go up to my dad, and I was like, hey, I found her. And he's like, excuse me? I was like, found your wife. And he's like, don't say that. And I was like, okay, well, she's in the shed outside if you need her. And he was like, excuse me? And I was like, she's in the shed, Mark. That woman you married is in the shed hiding from the family. That's crazy behavior. Get the straitjacket. I don't have time for this anymore. How am I supposed to look at this relationship and then continue on with my life? She's in the shed. No person should ever be in the shed. And then he kind of like shrugged and walked away from me. And then I was like, no one's quite hearing me right, okay? And then the party ended. I just continued. I just suppressed it. I just was like, whatever, fuck it. I'll keep hanging out with my family. It's not my problem, right? Then everyone left. And then all of a sudden she was back in the house on the couch watching television as if nothing happened. And she smiled at me. And my asshole tightened so hard because I was so fucking scared to go to bed that night. I thought I was gonna wake up with a knife between my teeth. That's who she was, man. I remember I called my friend. I called my best friend Marshall, and I was like, "Yo," because he loved gossip about this chick. He'd be like, "I'd be like, yo, guess what? Guess what she's doing today?" And he'd be like, "What? She fucking finally killed herself?" And I was like, "Dude, come on." He'd be like, "Sorry, what'd she do?" And I was like, "Not far off. She's in the shed." And he was like, "Oh yeah, like what? Like alive?" And I was like, "Dude," and he's like, "Well, you should probably go check on her." And I was like, "No, I'm terrified to do that." And he was like, "Well, man, like, come on." And I was like, "No, dude, I'm not opening the shed going, hey, what you doing in here? Besides hating our entire extended family and my brother's birthday." Hey, just gonna go ahead and take a wild guess. Do you hate all of us? Is your brain broken? So yeah, I wanted to... I gotta lighten this up. Or I don't, actually. Whatever. I know it's a comedy podcast. I'm smiling right now. I'm laughing. That's in my past. That's fine. There's no way. I don't even speak to this woman anymore. You know what I mean? My dad and her separated, and my dad couldn't be happier, and I couldn't be happier. Because she was a nightmare. But what are you going to do, right? Just talked bare shit about my stepmom. And that's a true story. Guys, that is a true story. My stepmom hid in a shed from about 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on like a Sunday in spring in 2014. That was the craziest thing I'd ever seen in my life. Like, what? Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk to you guys about, to be honest. I'm happy. I'm happy. I gotta stop doing that. It's super disrespectful and also disgusting. But hey, me, you know? It's just me. Anyway, guys, I love you. I love you so much, and thank you so much for listening. If you laughed, if you cried, if you whatever, if you chortled, thanks for listening. I love every single one of you, and I'm gonna keep this thing going forever. I'm literally gonna do this until I'm 95 years old. It's gonna be great, and you're gonna be right there with me, and I love all of you. So enjoy the rest of your morning, your afternoon, your evening, the rest of your day, the rest of your week, the rest of your month, and the rest of your years. And I'll talk to you again soon. Bye, guys.